Hello, thank you for joining my channel. My name is Parisa. Today's video is all about 5 different flower types, beginning with the letter P, part of the A to Z flower series. I've also made other flower facts videos, so check those out too if you like this video. Follow my Instagram called Parisa Flowers, where flower posts are regularly uploaded. Remember to subscribe to this channel and click the post notifications bell icon so you never miss an upload. Without further ado, let's get started with this video. The first flower beginning with the letter P that I'm going to be talking about is the peony, and the meaning of this is romance, rich, happy marriage and compassion. The colours that the peony comes in is pink, red and white. The blooming time for the peony is late spring to summer, but they only last around 7 to 10 days. Some interesting facts about the peony is that it's native to Northwest America, South Europe and Asia, and it's named after a Greek god of healing and medicine called Peony. In China, the peony is called Shouyu, meaning the most beautiful. This shows that people have loved the peony for many years and even millennia. Witchy Ito are high in demand hybrids that are a cross between the Herbaceous peony and tree peony. They have large blooms with foliage that is lush green, and they used to be very expensive, but they aren't anymore. The peony is very useful as it can be cooked, infused, used as an essential oil. It can be used as capsules, powder, it can be dried. Medicine, the peony root is valued in Chinese medicine to treat convulsion, and also it can treat coughs, fever, gout, polycystic ovary syndrome, menstrual cramp and premenstrual syndrome. How do you grow the peony? Well, you need to ensure that you consistently water it with about 1 inch per week. The soil type that you should provide the peony with is fertile soil like well-rotted manure. As long as the soil doesn't get waterlogged, the peonies will grow well in moist soil types, for example clay. Ensure in winter the soil doesn't get waterlogged and doesn't dry out in the summer. When should you plant the peonies? You should ensure that you plant them in autumn or spring. The sunlight that you should provide them with is full sun, and the food that you should provide your peonies with is potash fertiliser like bone meal, as this is slow releasing and will promote a strong growing season, and you should ensure that you provide your peonies with this the autumn before the flowering season. The second flower that I'm going to be talking about beginning with the letter P is the pansy, and this can symbolise feelings of platonic love, and you can give it to anyone who you hold dear to your heart, and it represents consideration. The colours that the pansy comes in is orange, gold, yellow, violet, white, red and purple, and it blooms in spring. Some interesting facts about the pansy is that it's a great gift for a friend, mother or someone who is close to you. Not every pansy has a scent. Pansies come in 3 different patterns. One has a single colour, another has black lines coming from the flower centre, and another that is tricoloured where there are dark centre splotches. They are edible. The pansy is the February birth flower, and you should spread your pansies 15 centimetres apart as they will grow from 15 to 25 centimetres in height. Medicine, the wild pansy called Viola tricolour is used in folk medicine to treat coughs, bronchitis and asthma. How do you grow the pansy? So ensure that you water it during the flowering season regularly, but ensure the soil is dry between watering, because pansies will not tolerate overwatering and they just require consistent moisture to keep the soil moist. When should you plant the pansies? You should plant them in spring. The soil type that you should provide your pansies with is well-drained moist soil, for example multi-purpose compost. The sunlight that you should provide your pansies with is full sun or partial shade, and the food that you should provide your pansies with is general purpose fertiliser, and ensure that you keep the soil moist by giving it mulch, for example. The third flower beginning with the letter P that I'm going to be talking about is the phlox, and the meaning of this is compatibility, unity and partnership. The colours that the phlox comes in is pink, purple, red, blue and white. Blooming time for the phlox is mid to late summer. Some interesting facts about the phlox is that it's easy to grow, the flower comes in a range of heights, and it is a hardy plant. Modern phlox is a medicinal plant with a laxative effect when it is used in the leaf extract form, and that can treat boils. The first 2 weeks of planting the phlox, ensure that you water it weekly, then after that water to keep the soil moist. When you water the phlox, ensure that you water the soil rather than the foliage. The soil type that you should provide the phlox with is well-drained moist soil. When should you plant the phlox? Spring, as the weather needs to be cool. Sunlight that the phlox plant requires depends on the variety. The woodland habitat phlox varieties like Phlox divaricata need partial shade, and Phlox paniculata, for example, requires full sun. The food that you should provide the phlox with is granular all-purpose fertiliser in the spring, and you should give that to the base of the flower. To improve the soil and plant growth, add a few inches of compost for some added nutrients. The fourth flower beginning with the letter P that I'm going to be talking about is the primrose. Primrose, it comes from a Latin word primus, meaning first, which makes sense because it is the first flower to bloom in early spring. The primrose represents everlasting existence and youth. The colours that the primrose comes in is orange, white, yellow, red, cream, pink, blue and purple. The primrose blooms from spring. Some interesting facts about the primrose is that you can eat primrose leaves and petals. They can be added to salads, for example. Young primrose flowers are used for wine to be manufactured. Some primrose varieties are annuals, whereas most varieties are perennial. Primrose varies in height depending on the variety. Some are 5 centimeters and others can be up to 50 centimeters. They don't have a woody stem, so are herbaceous, and ensure that your primrose are 6 to 12 inches apart when you plant them and about 4 to 6 inches deep. For medicine, the primrose can be used to treat swelling, arthritis, menopause symptoms. Evening primrose oil is used as a fatty acid source, and it can even be used to treat premenstrual syndrome. How do you grow the primrose? So ensure that you water once a week during summer months or when there's drought, and you need to ensure the soil is consistently kept moist, but water less when the weather gets colder. The soil type that you should provide primrose with is well-drained soil. You should plant the primrose from September when the weather is cool and the soil is warm. If you're going to grow primrose in pots, plant in autumn or spring and add best by compost to the containers. The sunlight that you should provide your primrose with is bright but indirect sunlight, like filtered sunlight. Primrose will grow in either partial shade or full shade. If you can't grow the primrose in partial shade, then full shade will be fine. You can provide your primrose with is mulch, and this will help keep the moisture in the soil. The last flower beginning with the letter P that I'm going to be talking about is the Passionflower. The Passionflower is symbolic of Jesus Christ's crucifixion. For example, Jesus' faithful apostles are symbolised by the 10 petals. 5 sacred wounds that Jesus suffered are represented by the 5 anthers. The crown of thorns is represented by the circle filament. The 3 stigma connote the nails that pin Jesus Christ to the cross. The colours that the Passionflower comes in is red, green, yellow, blue, purple and pink, and the Passionflower blooms in summer. Some interesting facts about the Passionflower is that there are about 60 species, edible fruit in purple and yellow shaped fruits. Inside of the fruit contains small membranous seeds with a similar taste to guava. In diameter, the passionflower is 3 inches. The passionflower vines are perfect to be grown on a trellis and will attract many butterfly types, around 70 specifically. The ants attracted by the extra floral nectar at the plant base will ensure that caterpillars don't destroy the plant. Medicine, the passionflower can be used to help treat pain, anxiety before a procedure, and attention deficit hyperactivity, and even stress. How do you grow the passionflower? So you need to ensure that you water it once or twice a week with 1 inch of water. The soil type that you should provide it with is fertile, well-drained, moist soil. You should plant the passionflower in spring. The passionflower should be planted in spring. The sunlight that you should provide it with is full sun or partial shade. The food that you should provide the passionflower with is a fertilizer high in nitrogen, like compost, well-rotted cow manure, or citrus foods. This is the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, then check out other videos from the A to Z Flower Facts series, and please comment, like and subscribe.